What up?
What is up, man?
Sure, like and subscribe.
Share, like, and subscribe, and don't forget what's happening in North Carolina.
So, North Carolina senators approved medical marijuana legalization bill in committee. Marijuana moment.
Woohoo! People are always asking us what's going on in North Carolina, and so if you're from there, don't forget to tell us in the comments. And hopefully, you're going to call your legislature and tell them to vote for this bill. But I wonder, how restrictive is it? Is it going to be a style of medical cannabis like Oklahoma, or is it going to be a style of medical cannabis like Georgia? Because the difference between those is like the Grand Canyon. I mean, you could not be on more different sides of the plane, you know?
Oh, I hear you. Yeah. Well, every state, right? I mean, it's a.
Well, not really. I mean, like, there's hyper, like, very, very top down, like huge mega conglomerate companies, and that was essentially the ATC model, the Alternative Medical Treatment Center, or the MMTCs, they call them in Florida. So if there's any TCs in there, that is a bad thing. Now, that usually requires full verticalization, and in like Georgia, for example, they only gave away 6 licenses. Whole state, 6 licenses, and then there was that's for the cultivation. There was just 2 types. One, you'd have to have $1.25 million in a bank account, 100,000 square foot flowering canopy, but you can't grow THC flower. So you're growing low THC flower, and then you're extracting it into oil. And then the smaller one, only 4 of them, 50,000 square foot of flowering canopy. Yeah, it's $625,000 in there. Trulieve sued and then won. Yeah, sometimes in the cannabis industry, you have to sue to win, but that's not how they do it in Oklahoma. Or in Michigan before Oklahoma, or in Oregon before both of those states, or even like in Colorado. It'll be interesting to see. I hope that North Carolina goes more along the lines of a Michigan, as opposed to even New York, New Jersey's medical marijuana programs were kind of crap.
No, they are. But yeah, they're encouraged that. So we're encouraged that SB 711 has been advanced by the Judiciary Committee. Devon Ward, a senior legislative counsel for the Marijuana Policy Project, told Marijuana Moment, "This is a crucial hurdle that has been cleared on a road to full passage." Nice. Well, I mean, it's getting momentum, which is great. And under the proposal, they're sponsored by the Rules Committee Chairman Bill Rabin, a Republican, shocker. Patients would be allowed to have access to cannabis if they have a debilitating medical condition, such as cancer, epilepsy, HIV/AIDS, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, and PTSD. Thank God. That's a good one.
Yep. Patients can possess up to 1.5 ounces of cannabis, but no home grow will be permitted. And they've defined what constitutes a cannabis-infused product to include a tablet, capsule, concentrated liquid, suspension of oil, topical preparation, transdermal preparation, sublingual, gelatinous cube, gelatinous rectangular cuboid, lozenge in a cube or rectangular cuboid shape, a resin or wax. Hopefully, smoking and vaping, they will be allowed.
I wonder if there's ever any doctors on these things. Like, I mean, consumption, goddamn it, things are taken annually, suppositories. Like, stop telling us how to take our medicine.
But in bad news, there are only going to be 10 medical marijuana suppliers who will control cultivation and sale of cannabis. Each supplier can then operate up to 4 dispensaries. This is starting to shape up more like an Illinois and or a more than Illinois, because it's vertical. Because you see how they had the grow process, and then they have 4 dispos. That is more along the lines of like Florida or in Georgia, which means yikes. Call them and say, change that a little bit. Say that you should have differences for how you set licenses based on patient demand, and that patient demand number you take and you say, how many patients could we have? What's the maximum amount of weed they are allowed by law to have? That is an adequate supply of cannabis.
I love Shelling Title's comment on this. She goes, "Oh my goodness, was this written by marijuana corporations? Is this bill to regulate marijuana or to serve profits on a platter to out-of-state cannabis companies?" Ow, that's gonna hurt.
When reached for a comment, Trulieve said, "Good, good."
GTI is going.
Well, that should justify us selling another 100 million shares.
Oh God, I mean. It is what it is, as much as we don't like it. But also, when federal takes over, all these guys are going to have to shape their game up. I was thinking the other day, In every state so far, there's a recreational medical mark when there's a recreational mark, right?
Mhm.
And all the difference between these two marks, besides in Washington State, where we decided not to test everything equally, we decided to test it like, oh, you're medical, you're special. But it's the taxes, right? Like we talked about, the taxes are going to be a thing that really screws up a lot of these people. What if, like, all of a sudden federal legalization happens? What if it just goes, everybody, medical patients are popping up all around?
Wouldn't happen. Doctors won't write the scripts.
Why not?
Because where do you think the bias is?
But they're not scripts, technically. They're all
Okay, the recommendations, because it's impossible to write a prescription for something that's been Schedule 1. But that being the case, I just don't. It was hard for me to find a doctor in Illinois 4 years ago.
That's
You know, and so you're going to find that's going to be a cottage industry for doctors. There will be some that will help write it, and then you're going to immediately have to go into trying to update this law, because you're going to have these top, huge, wealthy, connected political families in North Carolina go take them licenses from all of you business owners out there that want a piece of the game.
Yeah, no, that law definitely needs to be changed before it becomes an effect. So definitely get involved. If you're 18 and up, get involved.
Right. That's right. And remember, this channel is for 18 plus, or and maybe even 21 plus, because of the way that the cannabis laws work.